Just check, my mother said, looking straight into my eyes without turning away. Not in order to divorce, but so that you don't have to live with guesses. You see, the truth is always better than slow pain. I sat silently, holding a cup of already cold tea in my hands. This was not the first time we had spoken about this. For the past few months, I had felt that something had changed with my husband. He left early, returned late, almost never looked me in the eye, always saying he was tired, that he had too much work. But I wasn't stupid. I felt it. Women always feel when a shadow enters the house. Are you sure it isn't just paranoia? I asked quietly. My mother sighed. I've lived a whole life and I know what lies sound like. If he's innocent, you will breathe freely. If not, it will hurt, but it will be honest. She pulled a small, almost invisible recorder out of her bag. I'm not insisting. Just think about it. That evening, I walked around the room for a long time with it in my hand. My world was shaking. I didn't know what was scarier, to discover the truth or to go on living in doubt. Late at night, when my husband fell asleep, I tiptoed outside. His car was parked near the house, as always unlocked. He never worried, neither about me nor about strangers. I opened the door, turned on the recorder, and carefully slid it under the driver's seat. Everything inside me was trembling, from the cold, from fear, from the anticipation. When I closed the door, I looked back at the dark windows of the house. Everything looked peaceful just as always. But I knew that peace existed only on the surface, and soon I would find out what was hiding beneath it. The next morning, I woke earlier than everyone else. The horror of what I had done sat inside me like something sticky and heavy. I felt guilty, dirty, as if I had betrayed someone. And yet I could not silence the voice of the woman I imagined in his car. Wait, what woman? I hadn't heard anything yet. These were only fantasies, suspicions, fears, or was it intuition already? My husband got up as usual, had a rushed breakfast, kissed me on the temple hurriedly, as if out of duty mechanically, and left. I've got a meeting. Don't wait up, I might be late. He threw over his shoulder. I nodded, not asking questions. I just watched him get into the car. The same car where under the driver's seat a recorder had been running for 3 days. All morning I busied myself with chores. Mechanically ironing, washing dishes, feeding our son. Inside, everything was boiling. With every passing minute, the voice inside me grew louder. Listen. Listen now. And when the child finally napped in the afternoon, I sat at the table, pulled out the recorder, and put on the headphones. My heart was beating in my throat. My hands trembled as I pressed play. First, there were ordinary sounds. Doors. Keys. The dull sound of the engine. His voice muttering to himself about traffic. Then silence. I skipped ahead. And then her voice. Hi. You smell different today. My wife changed the laundry detergent, he answered. Light, flirty laughter followed. Don't worry. She doesn't notice anything, he said. Still just furniture, she teased. My ears rang. I felt as if I had been pulled out of my body. He was talking about me. So simply. So coldly. So degradingly. I skipped further. But you said you don't love her. Why stay? Because of my son. And because it's convenient. She carries everything on her own. I'm free. Every word struck like a blow. I switched the recorder off and sat in total silence. The house felt empty just like me. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. For the first time in a long while, everything inside was clear. Painful, yes, but clear. No guesses anymore. Just facts. He had said it himself. Not to my face, but still said it. When he thought I was nothing more than a shadow in his comfortable life. That night I couldn't sleep. The recorder lay on the table like a small black bullet, containing my entire life inside it. I kept turning it on and off, replaying fragments. She won't notice. Furniture. Convenient. Each time it cut through me like air made of knives. Tears didn't come. Tears are for when you're unsure. But I wasn't unsure anymore. At dawn I called my mother. Did you listen? She asked without preamble. Yes. A pause. Only her breathing on the line. Then listen to me now. Don't argue. Don't wait for him to confess. Gather your documents, money, everything for your son. Pack calmly. You're not leaving a man, you're leaving lies. I switched into action mode. First, evidence. I copied the file to my laptop, to the cloud, to a flash drive. Noted the time and date of the recording, sent it to my email, let him try to claim it was edited. Then documents, passports, my son's birth certificate, insurance, savings book. I transferred part of our savings to a separate account, wrote down my mother's bank details, packed my son's clothes into large bags and hid them under the bed. For myself, just the basics. Jeans, a couple of t-shirts, a coat, a photo album with childhood pictures. Everything else could be bought again. Respect couldn't. That day, he texted saying he'd be late, had a meeting, would send food delivery, no need to cook. I looked at the message and realized, this is what habitual lies look like: small, everyday, safe for the liar, lethal for the one lied to. I decided to leave while he was present, so he would see that even furniture can walk away. In the evening, I laid out bags in the hallway. My son sat on a suitcase drawing a tractor. When the door slammed, I didn't even flinch. "What are you doing?" He stopped on the threshold, frowning. "Where are we going? Why are there bags?" "We are leaving," I answered calmly. "My son and I." He gave a short, nervous laugh. "Again with your hysterics. I'm tired. I really was working." I pulled out the recorder, pressed play. The room filled with the sound of our shared past, only now with a stranger's voice in it. "Don't worry. She doesn't notice. Still furniture." His face drained of color. "You were spying? That's illegal." "That was a private conversation." "You staged this," he shouted. "No." I covered the recorder with my palm. "You staged it. When you decided I wasn't a person, when you chose the word furniture, when you lied without blinking." He stepped closer, whispering, "Come on, it was a joke. You know how conversations are. A joke, something two people laugh at together." He glanced at our son. The boy was staring at us with wide-open eyes. And at that moment I knew it was completely over. Not even for myself, but for that child, who must never see his mother begging for respect. I would take him somewhere he would never see his mother treated like furniture. He might try to fight it, but I had the recording. Many copies. I took my son's hand. My mother was already waiting in the car outside. Her headlights flashed in the night. We walked out without slamming the door. He shouted something after us. I didn't listen. In the car, my mother turned, placed her hand on my cheek. No words were needed. It's been just over 2 months. Life didn't become a fairy tale, but it became mine. No more anxiety in the evenings. No more waiting for phone calls. No more fear that words said in daylight would turn into poison behind my back. My son and I moved into a small, bright apartment my mother helped me find. The walls were bare. Boxes still on the floor, furniture simple, assembled by a neighbor. But none of that mattered. The most important thing was that here, nobody called me furniture. My son came alive. He laughed more, took books from the shelf by himself, brought me his drawings, hugged me for no reason. He even stopped calling for his father at night. "Mom," he once said, "our home smells nice now, like Grandma's. Before it smelled quiet." That strange childlike explanation cut right into my heart. He felt everything, even what he couldn't explain. I found a job, not as prestigious as before, but steady. My mother helped with her grandson, and in the evenings we had movie nights with blankets and cocoa. I began to feel warmth again, the taste of myself. One evening, while looking through old photos on my laptop, I saw him holding our son in the hospital. Our first vacation together. Smiles, suntans, embraces. But now I saw something else: strain, weariness, falseness I hadn't noticed then. The phone rang. It was him. "I've thought it over. Let's talk without emotions. I'm not a monster. You left, I get it. But we were a family. We were the appearance of a family," I said calmly. "I don't blame you. I thank you." "For what?" "The recorder. For the chance to hear the truth. Without it, I would have stayed silent for much longer. Now I live, and I'll never let myself be switched off again." He was silent. I hung up forever. That evening, my son and I packed his toys into boxes, laughing. Suddenly, he looked at me and said, "Mom, you're not sad anymore." I can hear it. And I understood. The most important thing is to hear yourself, even if it first means hearing someone else's betrayal. Because truth, like self-love, begins the very moment you stop allowing yourself to be a shadow in someone else's life.